They were the 1 and 2 picks in their draft. Paolo Banchero, Chet Holmgren. If we did a redraft, who goes number 1? Who would y'all take number 1?
I told you
We'll ask Chad as
with
well.
mine. I'm sticking with
You
mine.
sticking with Chet? Why Chet?
Chet number 1?
I'm still sticking with mine. Yep.
Go ahead.
I think it's for me. It's starting more with he has a brighter upside. Like Paulo had the bigger high school career. He had the bigger collegiate career. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna have a bigger NBA career. Now he's doing great. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
And I'm not saying that he can't play or nothing. But for me, Chet had a chance, but he got fucked up. He got hurt last year. So this is like really his real first year that what I'm saying, we could really get to see what he do. And then you're help anchoring a defense, a young defense in the playoffs where now you in the second round could be a possible shot at the
maybe more,
conference finals. So I think Chet always had, out of them two at the moment, the way it's looking, Chet got that better upside. So I'm still going with him, especially at the 5, is better defender.
So you think he's a true 5 or will be like a...
Oh, yeah, eventually he's going to end up being...
As he grows into it.
Yeah, because he's only going... that body's going to start aching and he's going to gain... he's actually going to gain some pounds. So, yeah, I still would take Chet.
When I think about it, I like... when you think about the picks, because Orlando... Like, if OKC had the number 1 pick, I would take Chet. But in the order that they went, I think Paolo was what Orlando needed. You know what I'm saying? Orlando, they needed a bucket getter. They needed a scorer. You know what I'm saying? They needed somebody that could really, play off, the guys that they got. And I think Chet is just they're both in perfect situations for their skill sets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like with Chet, he probably just needed a little time to grow and learn the league. So now we don't ask you to do as much. You ain't got to get 24s. We got SGA and these guys getting 20. So now you can kind of find your way, you know what I'm saying, on your own time. We need you to rebound and block shots, obviously. But when it comes to the scoring part of it, we don't need you to get 25 a night for us to have a chance. You know what I mean? We
the way Paolo has to.
The way Paolo has to. And I think Paolo is way more equipped to get 25 a night more than Chet is. Because Paolo got some game. Paolo got a lot of stuff to his game.
That's his strength.
Yeah, so I think if with the redraft the way it is, I would definitely take Paolo. It worked out perfectly for both of them because they are like tailor-made for both of those games.
Yeah, and then again, you just said what I said yesterday. All depends on what that team needs.
Right.
And he was more of a scorer.
Yeah.
Because when he was at Duke, they needed him to be more of that scorer.
Yeah.
When Chet was at Gonzaga, Timmy was the main dude, and Chet was just coming in there as the freshman, as the backup freshman to whatever Timmy wanted to do or what he was. So, yeah, it was different spots, and for Orlando, Paolo is turning into that, that scorer, that player that they need.
Yeah.
But they're gonna need some help too.
Which one's harder to find though? Like that guy that you can say, okay, this guy's gonna get 25, 28. We know he'll be the top guy on the scouting report, like y'all say, but he can still get that 25 to 28. Or a guy like Chet, who his strengths are the defense, being able to hit that outside shot, running the floor. Which guy you think is harder to find?
I think both of them, but not really, because with the skill sets of these kids, man, and these kids are tall and big now, man. Like, it's crazy how these kids, I don't know what they're feeding these kids, man, but if you go to see some of these kids in some of these gyms, some of these Nike things and all this stuff we used to go to, be like, man, golly, man, what you feeding you young folks?
You in 10th grade?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? You guys be little, so, I mean, you can find a shot blocker, you can find a rebounder, but somebody give you 25 to 30 a night in the league, that's tougher to find, I think. You know what I mean? Because that's a skill set right there. Like, if you getting 20, if you killing the best killers in the world and the best players in the world,
when they focused on
you, like, that's saying something. So I think that part is gonna be, it's tough to find more than it is to find a rebounder and an energy guy and a shot blocker, because you got guys that can only do that. And you're going to find more guys that can do that more than you can find guys that can give you 25 or 30.
Yeah, way more tougher to find a scorer.
the bucket getter.
Yeah, it's
100%.
way more
that
tough.
level.
At that level, at any position, no matter if it was a point guard or if we was,
Right.
talking about shooting guards or whatever. But at his position,
That's tough.
yeah, as we say, Paolo can play.
For sure.
And with that skill set, yeah.
Chet, 53% sided with Paolo here. So they would take Paolo number one. I think what benefits...
You can't go wrong either one.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. I do wonder if you flip both those guys right now. Like if Paolo was on OKC right now, how would we be talking about him? And if Chet was on Orlando, how would we be talking about
Well,
him?
we wouldn't be talking about Chet.
Probably wouldn't be.
I mean, they probably would have went out in the first round like Orlando
probably
did.
wouldn't have made it.
Yeah. But if OKC had Paolo, are we like, man, can this team win it all right? Like, do they have that second go get a bucket guy right now?
Yeah,
and
but-
Jalen Williams would be their offensive
But
third?
I'm about to say, but it takes away from one. It's going to take away from somebody else.
Right.
It's going to take away from Jalen's
From your
production. It's going to take away from
defense.
SGA's
And it's going to take away from that defense
You know what I'm saying?
production.
Because he going to want to get 20-something. SGA getting 30. Jalen Williams getting 20, 19, you know what I mean? Like, somebody going to have
Where
to
my
get
shots
effective.
come in
Yeah,
at.
somebody going to have to get, it's only so many, it's only so many shots, you know what I'm saying, they
Yeah.
get a night, you know what I'm saying?
Can't play with two
Yeah, you
basketballs.
can't play with two basketball, for real.